Welcome to my travel videos on Eastern Europe. Now I was talking about the Budapest, and there before coming for lunch I forgot to tell you an important information. There in the Hero Square many gypsies were selling handmade crochet tops and other stuffs which everybody was very eager to buy, and they paid in euros which they accepted. Though the currency there is foreign, the gypsies accepted the euro currency. Then we reached the place called the Lazar Equestrium, where we had the traditional lunch. It was 35 kilometers from Budapest, and it's a very picturesque valley among the hills called the Godolo. It's a natural protected area in a 9-hectare area. And the equestrian culture, the history of the Hungarian horse sport, and the traditional cuisine, and famous Hungarian wine, gypsy music, folklore, dance, everything was presented there. And this was a soup served for the vegetarians first. It was a cream of tomato. It was very tasty. For non-vegetarian, they had a separate table. And here first we had the soup, then we had the potatoes, and then all the vegetable fries, etc. It was a very tasty lunch. And as soon as we entered, they gave a drink. For those who take alcohol, they gave that. It's called apple and pear palinka. And those who don't drink, for us, it was the fruit juice. What we heard was that apple and pear palinka was very strong, and it is a traditional drink. And in front of the dining hall, you had all the open area where the horse show was to be conducted. That day it was raining heavily, but still they conducted the show by making us sit inside the shed. And then there was a museum called the Lazarium. Since it was owned by the Lazar brothers, Vilmos and Zoltan Lazar, it is called Lazarium instead of museum. It had all the things which they possessed. This museum portrayed the history of the carriage, history of the Hungarian equestrian sport, and the carriage driving career of the Lazar brothers. And illustrational films in all languages were also displayed there, which we heard. It was very interesting. Vilmos and Zoltan Lazar, they have won 13 World Championship gold medals and many other from various competitions, it seems. Now they are businessmen and they are owning the chain of one of the biggest supermarket of Hungary. The meaning of Lazar is God is my help, we heard. What you saw above was a small clip of the illustrational film spoken by the brothers Vilmos and Zoltan Lazar. And these are the medals displayed over there throughout the room, even on the base covered by a glass. And we felt bad to walk on the glass also because it was all displaying the medals which they have won. And there was not even one single competition in which they did not win a cup or a medal, it seems. So talented they were. And this place was also favorite of Queen Elizabeth, that is the Habsburg dynasty queen, the wife of Franz Joseph of the Austro-Hungarian monarchy, and she was fondly called as Sisi, and she used to come here often and then enjoy the horse riding, it seems. And this was the horse show which we witnessed. You also please witness. There is nothing to explain here, and it's a feast for the eyes. Though it was raining, the people and the horses, they were fully drenched, but still they performed in an excellent manner. And we were sitting in a shed and we were watching them. Kindly watch the show and then enjoy as we enjoyed there in Budapest. The original commentary and the backtrack music is not allowed in the YouTube, so we had to give our own commentary here. Hungarians were good at archery. They tried to attack the enemies by going and suddenly turning back and aiming at them, it seems. This training of using the whip or cracking the whip was given to them from childhood. And this Lazar Equestrian Park was started in 2001 by the Lazar brothers. The sportsmanship made the Hungarians famous throughout the world. More than 100 years ago, the owners of this equestrian park came here and then they started this, and then it was further developed by the Lazar brothers who had won so many world championships in this sport. Hungarian tribe arrived here as early as 9th century, it seems, on horseback. Their main weapon was bow and arrow. The brilliant aiming and riding on the horse, these two skills made them famous all over Europe. Those who are riding the horse, they are called chikosh. Sometimes they use it as a pillow also when they are tired to lie down on the horse, which you can see later in the video. And the skill of cracking the whip itself is an art. The sound is a way with which they communicate with the animal. Their voice and the cracking of the whip, everything, it tells the animal what they should do. If they have to lie down or they have to get up, for that they have got specific number of cracking the whip. And the skill which they do it, it was really amazing. And these chikosh, sometimes they became excellent cavalrymen when they were very well trained in these sports. You know what I read was they can easily knock down the sword in the hands of an enemy by this cracking of the whip and also make the enemy fall off the horse. Here the horsemen displayed their aiming skill with their arrows on the board which was kept there, and they were perfect even while riding. They did not miss the target. So that was a really talented show, and we really enjoyed it. Though it was drizzling throughout the show, they did not mind it. Here you witness them going round and round and then showing their archery skills while riding on the horse. That was really very amazing, and we enjoyed it after a good lunch and with the scenic beauty there and see the vast plain area, and that was a golf course we heard, the one which you see ahead. All the horses looked majestic, and the men who were riding them were also very strong, and they went again and again in the big area in rounds galloping on the horses. Even their small children were there in the field assisting them in their job, giving them the glass with the water, etc. I'm sure that they also will get trained sooner because the genes itself, they have got the sportsmanship. The sound that came from the cracking of the whip was so loud and it was very powerful, and that was also used to drive away any predators that might attack their herd when they were going with their sheep and other animals in the forest. So this was a great art which helped them in their day-to-day life also. You can see how the horses obey the chikosh with the sound of the whip and also by his voice, and then they lie down because they want to take rest there, and then the horsemen also just lie down on their horses for short duration so to take rest. This is how they train the horses to hear their whip sound and then to act accordingly. Now after some time again they crack their whip and then the horses get up, and then they got on to the horses and then they started galloping again. So this was really nice to see how they trained such a big horse to obey their orders. After this, one of the chikosh or the horseman, he demonstrated how to use the whip, how to crack the whip. And then they called one of the volunteers from the audience to use the whip and then to push a bottle which was kept on a small stand. Whoever does it, they said, they'll be given a fine bottle of wine. Now you can also witness the scene there. It looked as if you need lot of strength to crack the whip here and there, but he was doing it so easily, and it was amazing that one of our group members also did it in 3 or 4 times, and then they got the bottle of wine. Now they are actually demonstrating to us by keeping the bottle on a stand and then how to crack the whip so as to make it fall down. Since they are trained in that, they can do it so easily, and you can also watch it how nicely he does it. And then they gave a chance to the one of our volunteers from the audience side. See how it has fallen down. Now the little girl comes to them and then she gives a glass of water to each of them, and then they have to keep it, and along with that they have to gallop on the horse very fast, and the water shouldn't spill or fall. That they did with such a great skill, and we witnessed it. It was so nice to see them going without spilling the water. They had kept a small zoo in that they had grey oxen, cow, etc., and they made the grey oxen also march riding a cart. And you can see the horns, they are so special, and it was a protected species, endangered species, and it has been protected by law, it seems there. Then we saw one man on the horse and one on a donkey coming, and that was a fun part of it. And he falls down and then he acts as if he doesn't know how to climb on the donkey, etc., which was very funny to look at. It was like a clown's act in a circus. Though he cracked the whip, the donkey was not getting up, it was not obeying his orders, and that was very funny to look at. You can also have a look at it. When the person is cracking the whip, you can see the sparks coming out of the whip. They don't beat the horses, it is just to make a sound. Finally, the donkey got up and then he was trying to climb on it. The other horseman also came to help him, and then he falls down the first trial, and then finally he gets down and go. That got a lot of applause from us. It was very funny to look at. You can also see that what all tricks he is doing so as to climb on that little donkey. Now he is calling his friend to come and help him. His friend comes and tries to teach him. First you have to pat on the donkey, and then you should put your leg like that and jump on it. And finally he tries it and then he falls. Due to rain, the place was also a bit clayey, but still they didn't mind it, and then they performed all this to make us very happy. That was very nice of them, and it is like a circus clown's role. See how he has fallen down. After talking so much to his friend about how his dress has become dirty, everything in Hungarian, and finally he jumps onto the donkey and then he rides away. These are all funny part of the show. Now comes a real challenging part of the show. One person called Bello Leonard, he saw a picture like this. That is, one person balancing on the two rear horses and then controlling 5 horses only with the help of his sound and also with the help of his reins. So when he saw the picture, he wanted to train these horses in that way. That was his dream. The dream came true when he trained the horses, and this was passed on from generation to generation, and now it has become a part of the show. You can see how they are galloping on the horses, and we held our breath when we saw how he was managing all the 5 horses just standing on the 2 rear horses. You can also witness it. It was an amazing show. So that was the end of the show. So they all went to a big round, and then they came back to us, and we all gave them a grand round of applause. And the show is worth seeing that in Budapest. Now they are coming back to bid farewell to us. The Hungarian flag is almost like Indian flag with the same colors, orange, white and green, except the middle chakra is not there. Otherwise it is almost similar. Please have a look at the medals won by the Laza brothers, and this is a mini zoo in which they have kept the grey cattle, which is a protected species, and a healthy cow, and also some pigs and donkeys are there. All the animals are taken care of very well, and the horses are looking so strong and healthy. And they also have a cart show like that, which we didn't go because we enjoyed the other things there. So, on the whole, we really enjoyed the trip of Budapest with this Laza Brothers equestrian show, and I hope you also enjoyed with us. And one more video is there, which is the end of the East European tour. And please watch and send your comments to my channel. That will be very helpful. And also subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you.